Flowing. Let's see if we're live. Yo, welcome to the iSpooge Daily channel. Today we'll do inspiration scrolling like we did last time, and I'm going to show you Hogumathi, which is my Twitter and YouTube app that I made a while back. And it just got put on the back burner / in the fridge because Twitter API access became $100 a month, and for a bootstrapper, that's a little bit too much. But I made a way to use it again using a browser extension that scrapes a logged in Twitter account and turns that scraped data into what looks like an official API response with a couple issues, and then gives it back to any old client like my old client. So doesn't have the media showing yet. So then what happens when we get to the end of a page? Alright, it's timed out. It's probably been over 10 minutes. So I can reload it, but it actually stores the state as just a string to the tab ID. So let's see, we might still be able to continue this scroll. No, so it's just gonna do a new one, so it's gonna give me the same ones to begin with. Doot doot doot. Boom. From first principles to first drops. So it seems to be missing the first one consistently. But yeah, so now this is a fresh tab that shouldn't have timed out. So when we scroll to the bottom, it'll actually drive the browser to scroll more if everything's working right, which it doesn't seem to be for some reason. All right, let's try it again. There we go. They're blue because I've already seen these ones before. See how that scrolls down. Then we get some more tweets. Keep scrolling, that scrolls, we get some more. So in order for this to be possible, we have to remember what we've seen before. So every time we get a timeline, profile, tweets, whatever, bookmarks, likes, whenever we see tweets, we put this result set into a cache, and it keeps the present metrics. So maybe later there's 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever replies. So we can graph that over time using some kind of analytics. Well, we can implement some kind of analytics. Stuff like that. And swipe to notes, so that's integration with my notes app. Copy formatted, I'd be surprised if this still worked. I just haven't used this app in so long. Let's see. All right, copy formatted does not seem to work. So then we can view the replies just to this tweet. I haven't got that far yet. I don't have the tweets view implemented. We can view just the thread of the author's tweets, so that's filtered out, or the full convo of all replies. So we can view my profile. Now that's going to open 2 background requests, one for the profile and one for the timeline tweets. And pretty much I think why it stops working is just I don't do any error handling. And so if something doesn't get caught, for example, it could mess up an interval or this or that. And so I just have to restart it and it works again until I fix that. And I'm keeping track of issues. This code is available to Hogumathi Premium subscribers and Patreon members. All right, so we got an error for some reason. Field.name, data.id should be string and not none. So, yeah, so it's a null ID for get users. And last night we were seeing that tweets came back with like the wrong author user object. So it's because we're scraping data off of a website and the HTML changes sometimes. And so we might like get that as a user or something like that. Okay, so we'll just say we just put the info there, comment it, and we can fix it later. So let's just try loading it again. Maybe it'll find us something. like anyone who's a consumer is going to say, oh, this is a big joke, oh, what a clown, blah 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 blah, but like anyone who makes stuff is going to recognize how crazy this is. So now it's opening another tab. And like, why would anyone do this? Like, I really want to have my own app that I'm using. And I built this app before AI, so, and I built it on like a 7-inch screen and a 14-inch screen. So yeah, it's a piece of crap that needs a ton of work, but it's my piece of crap that needs a ton of work, you know? So it was working, but no longer, unfortunately. So then I double checked the YouTube stuff before I did the stream. So I already logged in, but I think it's safe to just log in again. So this is just a test app, so it's not open to the public. So only a white list of people who I allow on can come on. Alright, so here is my following feed, so the different channels that I'm following. And I think this is just a binary, do they have new videos or not, as opposed to how many. So the Chrome project. So now we're on the channel page. This is the default uploads playlist. So I made this profile just for Twitter, and then I adapted it to YouTube. So there's like the @ and then there's the user ID. You can click to basically get back here, or you can click to view that playlist. I think there's a way to list the playlists for a channel. But yeah. So then just to save bandwidth, I only load the low quality, no iframe. So click on it, it loads the high quality. Double click, it'll turn into an iframe player.
Good morning, crew. We are in Merritt, BC.
And by the way, I'm not a big fan of chat, but we can use IRC if you want to chat. It's go to libera.chat for instructions. If you click the top right corner, it'll take you to this chat app. And you don't actually need a password. You can say you don't have one. Oh no, now I got to retype it. Alright, it remembered when I clicked refresh. So you're going to want to use a VPN or something to mask your IP address. It might have a mask automatically actually, but yeah, that's a VPN address, so it doesn't matter for me to show it. And if there's any issues, I trust this chat network more than YouTube. So that's what that is. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple. And then we can also go to a video watch page as well and see comments. Oh, this is same view, so I couldn't tell. So then if it's alive, it'll show an embedded chat, stuff like that. I'm not sure why the comments are not showing up. Oh, because I actually have a separate comments page, top right. So that's a little weak, but it is what it is. It works. The pagination should work the same way. I think there'd be more comments than that, but maybe I didn't implement pagination. Like I said, it's pretty new. So we can do some inspiration scrolling on Twitter. And I do have this issue where I need to reload this extension to get new requests to be handled noted. It's not a big deal. I think it's just, like I said, like an uncaught error or something. When you come out of survival mode, your hair will grow faster and more lusciously, your eyes will become twinkly, you will sleep like a baby, you will have more excitement to do your daily things, your aura will glow, you will romanticize life more easily. Survival mode is a real thing, and I've been in survival mode for a long time, so like, why am I resistant to like chatting and trying to get to know people and stuff? Because it's not actually me, it's a subset of me that's in survival mode, right? I made a tweet like this a while ago where it was like me, it was Venn diagram, me, and then a subset of that is me in survival mode, right? This is like my magnum opus right here, because like this is it. This is what people are seeing. It's not like dissociative identity or something. It's like I am in animal mode until I can get housing, and until then, you know, whenever I'm at work especially, I'm going to be just focused on the job. Oh, well, socializing is part of the job. Well, that's great, but I can't do that because I don't have anything to connect with people, and so people are just going to like get me out of the way any means they can, and that ends up being called bullying or something like that. So there's me in survival mode, you know, I'm poor, I cut my own hair, like in general, if you don't know me like every single day, you might have a hard time telling that I'm homeless, but if you know me every day, you know that I wear like the same clothes every day and blah blah blah. So I am in survival mode, and it's weird to say I am in survival mode because it's like a piece of me is in survival mode and the rest of me is just not functioning right now because I can't grow any bigger than survival mode, you know? Oh, your shadow doesn't seem well integrated, you know, while you're in survival mode. Like the shadow exists to support someone in survival mode. So of course the shadow is going to be flopping itself out when you're in survival mode. But I am pretty good at regulating my nervous system on my own, so you know I can, you know, you can externally regulate a baby or an infant. Like if it's like throwing a tantrum or something, you can just like start putting food in its mouth and it'll just like forget that it was having a tantrum and start eating, stuff like that. So that's probably an ad, a little less than half to blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Having an affiliate program for your SaaS is a cheat code, probably. I've been thinking affiliate program is how I'm going to do sales. I've got to start selling first myself, but having this platform online makes it so that I can sell a lot of different things to a lot of different people, you know. I've got a stack of qualified warm leads who have asked for things that this app does, but without this app working, I'm not going to like start trying to make a sale to them, you know. Cause I've kind of got to like extra prove myself, so I can't really approach people without having something working like this. Zcash, I'm not a crypto guy, but if I were going to do crypto, it would be a private chain like Zcash. I was aware of Bitcoin in 2010 and rejected it because I didn't want to turn the polar bears black. Let's see if our scrolly thing still works. Alright, I'll try leaving the tab open and reload the extension and see if it takes it back over. Nope, it's going to get a new one, so it's going to start back at the top. So yeah, I'm from Minneapolis, so this whole, I mean, there's always wild stuff going on in Minneapolis that's relevant, but so if I pay attention to it, it's not for the politics or anything like that. It's just to be like, oh, I think I know where that is. Is that, I don't want to say it. I think I know what that is. I don't know what that is. It's weird having a conscience and watching all of this fraud unfold. The mindset of these people is alien to us. Then when we speak up, we're the bad guys. Alright, so let's watch it scroll for us. Yeah, I just got this working yesterday, so it's pretty buggy still. I did a stream late last night. But I thought I'd do another one today. I got out of the kitchen early today. It's still the slow season. Yeah, hopefully this year will be the year that my projects can start to feed me a little bit more and I can taper out of traditional employment. For the most part, I'd still be happy to work like 2 or 3 days a week just to be a part of society and whatnot, but at the same time, like, working around a bunch of like unaccomplished alcoholic type people, it's very dangerous for my reputation because they have the dominance of, like, if they say that something happened one way, all of them are kind of, you know, they'll get to an eventual consistency and I will not be accounted for in that. And so weird rumors will be circulating that don't make any sense, and then I'll hear about it weeks later, and it's just like, So what am I supposed to do? Like go to every single person who's heard it and like try to correct them when it was like 2 weeks ago I didn't know that a rumor was circulating, and now like everybody has some version of a story, and I can only be like, oh, I don't even remember, you know? And it's like, oh, because you were too messed up or something like that. No, because it was 2 weeks ago and like I didn't know that there was a rumor going around. So like if you try to ask me about it after, this is where the right to a speedy trial comes in, because after like weeks you just don't remember things anymore. It's like, you know, a few weeks ago this Mock BirdSite thing didn't exist. I just have a lot going on, and so if someone wants to be like, oh, this happened a week or two ago, I'll just be like, okay, I believe you, right? All right. Let's try to get 3 pages of inspiration scroll. Refresh. Extension needs reload. Because expired token, maybe? Is there any error? Yeah, there's a problem with the errors that I've seen before. Task timeout, blah, blah, blah. So yeah. Cancel the previous one. Loading. All right, first page in. Third page in. Fourth page in. And one little thing I did yesterday, not a big deal, I'll just show it though. Pagination tokens are just strings, so I made a little function to have what page of results are at the end of the string. So we scroll down again, hopefully get another page. And then boom, we're on page 6. And I just made a cool little function that takes the previous token. So if there's no token, it creates a new one. It adds :1 at the end. And if there's a token, then it splits it by colon, takes the last value, treats it as a number, and increments it by 1, and then puts it on the end of the token and returns it. So it's just a little debugging thing, not necessary. Alright, so we can preload some pages to inspiration scroll through. Alright, it looks like it has run out. So yeah, there might be like a 2-minute timeout somewhere or something. And then the blue ones are going to be the ones we've seen before. Yeah, it's kind of hard without the attached media and stuff, so that's going to be pretty high priority to get that going again, but yeah, I mean, it's nice to have a platform like this. So last time when I made this, I had like 20 YouTube subscribers, and that was still several years into my channel, because it took only like a year ago did I get up over 1,000 with all the homeless guy videos. I was vlogging every day. But now I'm just like super locked in, and I also just don't have a great environment to vlog every day. Right now happens to be a window that I don't usually have, so I'm taking it. And then something I was going to show last night that I didn't, because I just kind of like wanted to get off the stream. So based on the cache data, here's the gaps of at least an hour in your browsing history. So I had a 1.3 hour gap starting, this is UDC, so 117 from 4:50 to 117 to 6 o'clock. I think, is today the 17th? Yeah. So there's an hour and a half. And then so on the timeline, look at the bottom. It'll go away if I move my mouse there. But using the Twitter API, you could pass it in a since ID and until ID to just fetch a slice of the timeline. So what do you think I do? Looking at start time and end time, that's the gap. So I use the start and end time as the since ID and until ID. And then there is a general idea called gaps and islands. So you can make like a SQL query to find gaps and islands if you have a series of data. And so I've just set it to a minimum of 1 hour gap. And all the activity that's not in a gap is on an island. And so here I made it so that if you want to see like all of your timeline for like the last 2 or 3 days, I think these only go back 3,000 tweets, and so that might be like 1 to 2 days depending on who you follow and how active they are and stuff. But you can go back and close the gaps, and then as you view, these gaps will get smaller and smaller because this is made out of the cache database. So this does not work at present. I would like it to work, but it'll require being pretty crafty unless there's a way we can actually browse since ID and until ID in the official client. So Twitter, man, I'm starting to really have to go to the bathroom. So that is one of the best drugs in the world, having to go to the bathroom. You get like so locked in, focused. Twitter, since ID, until ID, home timeline. You can also do start time and end time, but I want to do it on the official app. So an embedded timeline might give us some hints about parameters we can pass in. I'm not sure. I'll have to look into that more. But yeah, this was a really cool feature. This was one of the last features I added along with the blue viewed tweets, and I was getting into thread view as well. That's definitely not going to work right now, so I'm not even going to try. We should be able to look at bookmarks. So when we reload the extension, it'll pop open a bookmarks tab. So still loading. There we go, scroll down, boom. and it should paginate. Right, cool. And eventually you'll be able to post and blah blah blah. But yeah, I haven't ever seen or heard of anything like this. An API proxy that drives an interactive scraper. And then this app also supports the archive. So I deleted all of my tweets, but I only deleted them up to the date of the last archive that I had at the time. I've got another archive still, so I could delete everything up to that archive. And then I have a post redirector extension, deleted media redirector. So what that does is if I go to a tweet and it shows that it's deleted, it then redirects it to iSpooge.com, blah blah blah, that tweet ID. And then post deleter is the actual service that I use to delete all that. So I'm selling, if you want me to delete 10,000 tweets for you, I'll do it for $10, 25 bucks for 30,000, or 50 bucks for 100,000, and I can do about 1,000 per day until, you know, stuff gets tighter and better and blah blah blah. And once I scale, I'll probably just get official API access, but this is serving people who are just too small and don't have $100 of income, or, you know, it's pre-seed level. Like, you don't have a business idea even, you're trying to hone in on MVP, product market fit. So you're just literally not making income, so you can't spend $100 that you don't have, you know. So access to this, it's open source, but you get early access for $12 a month, and email support for $225 a month, and that of course comes with early access. And YouTube portion is new and roughly works. Twitter is primary and worked well, and right now I'm developing an alternative approach. Mastodon is copy and pasted from Twitter. RSS, copy and pasted, kind of works. And we've got some core abstractions like feed item, feed service user, feed item media, routed message, collection page, thread item, and uniform handling across YouTube, Mastodon, Instagram, Twitter, blah, 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 blah. Audience, power users, creators, journalists, and their IT staff. So if you're trying to tell me about, oh, grandma won't be able to use this, I'll tell you, well, grandma's obviously not a power user, creator, or journalist then, or an IT staff. I mean, that's how I can get away with it being ugly but just working, you know. Deploys to localhost, cloud, custom, technology, Python 3.7 plus, HTMX, and Bootstrap. So I was way early to the HTMX game. Yeehaw! And you can see this isn't all Bootstrap. It's partially ported to Bootstrap. See, Twitter used to be kind of a group chat. I had, I don't know, 10 people following or something. And we were roughly planned to do something for this night. So I'm like, putting pizza on, come over anytime. Laundromat and math in Web 1.5 SP1. Ha ha ha. Web 2 is kind of new in 2008. And I'm still talking about Web 1.5 being now a fork of Web 2, but incorporating parts of Web 3. That makes sense. No, I'm sorry, a fork of Web 1 and incorporating the parts of Web 2 that make sense, and maybe some of Web 3. Sovereign IT. So I've also got the Patreon in addition to these offers, these products and services. And we do Sovereign IT. So yeah, of course, pagination worked through. So here's where we were waiting for 2008 429. We were waiting for the 3G iPhone. And I think I had a Windows mobile phone. God, I don't even remember what happened to that. Did I sell it? Did I return it? I don't know. 3 words to describe my life right now. Hungry, hungry hippo. Hee-haw. I never thought my life would amount to eating peanut butter with Cheerios sprinkled on top of a table knife. I literally remember this. That's crazy. Crazy how memory works. Walking while texting, danger zone. I think this was my last, yeah, nap before B-dubs, Buffalo Wild Wings. That's funny. Oof, my bathroom is telling me, bro, you've got to go. We were at about $300 a month of support here. That is amazing. It makes great things possible. And we want to get to $2,000 a month so that I can stop having my kitchen job so much. You know, it's not that there's anything particularly anything with anyone there. It's just social dynamics. They can tell that I am super insecure and they treat me accordingly. And if I stop being insecure, they'll stop treating me like that way. And there's only so much fake it till you make it that you can do. So it's like, as long as I'm super insecure, I'm not having heart coherence with things, and so I just can't connect with people. And it's not like a skill issue. I'm sensing how they feel about me, and I can't change it given what I have now. So I'm just kind of like defeated, and it doesn't really make sense to spend time there when what will actually make them like me is getting more rich, you know, better. On some aspects, I think I'm despised and weak and vulnerable, and so people take advantage of that. But on other fronts, I think people sort of envy, and so they don't want to like me. They actually want to like destroy, kill, steal, destroy. I know I said destroy twice, but yeah, don't worry about it. You know, so just don't hang out with people who don't want you around. You know, I wish they wanted me around, but they don't, and they're not going to want me around more by hanging out with them, you know. So that is what it is. I just need to get to my rightful position in life, which is not a homeless guy out here. Like, I don't even want to talk about it or mention it anymore, because I think people, like, they like me, but then once they find out I sleep in my car or whatever, call myself homeless or a hobo, suddenly they're just not going to be able to envision a friendship or any kind of doing business together anymore. They're just like, they can't imagine it. Maybe 1 in 100 or 1 in 1,000 can, but yeah, for the most part, it just makes people uncomfortable, and it's not anything I can do. You know, I can be showered, dressed in my best clothes, but they know the fact, and so they're just not open to having me around. Like, nothing under my control can fix that. So I do this, and I think I do good stuff. And I've liked to do this since I was in high school, and I've done a lot of good stuff. since then, and I don't like know how to sell it. So getting just monthly supporters while I figure out how to sell, and then relying more on the stuff that I sell would be an ideal plan. And right now I'm just my biggest supporter because I work a job and all of my extra money, like, and it's not exactly what it looks like either, because okay, you're paying a couple $100s a month for an office space, but if you really wanted housing, you would just save that money, right? Almost everyone would say yes, until you think about, okay, 30 days of working and saving that money. Like, it's not some magical fairy tale kingdom where everything just lives happily ever after, okay? What are we doing for those 30 days? Going to work? Okay, yeah. Going to your second job? Ideally, if I had an apartment, I would get a second job. But since I sleep in a car, things are very different, you know? Where do I eat my food? Where do I take my shower? Where do I keep my stuff? You know, what about weekly chores and all kinds of stuff? It just takes 2 or 3 many times longer. So just get a second job. If it fell into my lap and had perfect logistics, okay, I could do it from the car. But to go out and like find one, it's just... When I have 4 days off as well, but that's not an always thing, you know. I don't usually have 4 days off. We have seasonal busyness. And so very few are going to be hiring right now. So if I wanted a second job right now, I should have had a second job before the slow season. This isn't exact one-to-one. There might be 2 little peaks or something like that, but for the most part, income going up, peaks out, dips down, and while the income's getting towards peak, we're saving. Now income goes down, it reaches a certain level. Now savings peaks, because now we are dipping into our savings. Now our savings is draining, and as our income is very, very low. And then our income starts going back up, but it's still below where we can save money. So even though our income has gone up, our savings is still going down. And now we're in panhandling zone, right? So it's not that I didn't foresee this. It's that, you know, last year we had 2 to 3 days closed. This year we have 3 to 4 days closed. Maybe I could have taken that into consideration, but I didn't. I thought, all right, 3 days a week closed. All right, we can make that work. But it's not, and so I'm like pretty close to panhandling zone. And this has been the story of years and years and years out here. Like, I just cannot save enough money to get into housing. And so I'm doing all of this creator work and stuff, like, just because I need to do something between my jobs that is not going to the bar and that is not hanging out in the park and doing drugs with the other homeless people, right? So what do? Well, I come into my office and I work on stuff. Cool. How much do you get paid? Well, I'm getting about $300 a month in income on that, so that's cool. What happens when you trust a homeless guy with a knife? He makes you cry. Not by poking you with the knife, but by cutting onions real good. I've made over 50 of these videos.
Hogumathi is breathing, critical but stabilizing. The path to full recovery, visible. Pre-seed, and then boom, a surprise landslide of crowd funds. Equity retained, old tech
Pre-seed, and then boom.
Critical but stabilizing.
Surprise landslide of crowdfunding. Let's go. This is kind of demonic, the face of this girl, but it's a concept. It just takes a couple minutes to make. Videos on Twitter don't always load. This one I knew was going to be a banger. This is one of my highest viewed. 500, a whopping. Just dash. Da 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 just dash. That was the inspiration. You caught it. This one is one of the few that I have not released the prompt on.
Lightning flash, we break the grid, we bend the line, take this rhythm, make it mine. Da da da, on the downbeat, dash, da da da, hit the night crashes and dash, lightning flash, we break the grid, we bend the line, take
Bend
this
the
rhythm,
lines.
make it mine. Da da da, on the downbeat, dash, da da da, hit the night crashes and dash, lightning flash, we break the grid, we bend the line, take this rhythm, make it mine. Da da da, on the downbeat, dash, da da da.
So I still say that is not art. I did art by making the prompt, and then AI did a craft to make this video for me. So here's probably one of my favorites.
He works for what he has. It's not much, but it's his. His rickshaw is a Civic. His office a place with free coffee and peace enough to think. He's a spiritual, lawful man and a wanderer. He works for what he has. It's not much, but it's his. His rickshaw is a Civic. His office a place with free coffee and peace enough to think. He's a spiritual, lawful man and a wanderer. He works for what he has. It's not much, but it's his. His rickshaw is a Civic. His office a place with free coffee and peace enough to think.
The world is ready for my art now. 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 The world is ready for my art now.
Ah yes, interactive scrapers are the new protocol dogs. That's what this Mock BirdSite is. So this has been stewing in my head for over a month, but that's not actually that long, is it? Considering I've been working my other job, there's been holidays, and now my speech is getting weird because I've got the echo in my ear. It's out. Oh yeah, I like this one. This is like, okay, if you've ever like been talking with a girl and she teases you and stuff, but you're kind of like teasing her with your time too. So there's like that tension, and then the sexual center is the same as the creative center. So it's like I'm just trying to work and she's just trying to tease, and then, you know, kind of enhances the creative work. This one is weird, but
laptop, my own little collision of worlds. Third or fourth video today, 14 hours in. First one here, pretty sure I'll be the last to leave. But sitting here, snow on the window, good music.
Yeah, I've been having like 14-hour days every day, at least since the beginning of December.
First one here, pretty sure I'll be the
But I
last
mean,
to leave. But sitting here, snow on the window, good music on the office speaker, transit on the laptop, my own little collision of worlds. Third or fourth video today, 14 hours in. First one here, pretty sure I'll be the last to leave. But sitting here, snow on the window, good music.
I have a feeling someone's going to come into the space pretty soon. Which means I'm going to want to get off the stream. Now here's where I'm talking about before they knew about homelessness. You know, there's no undo. Like, once they know you're homeless, there's no going back. They treat you different. They will not let you be in heart coherence. It makes them so uncomfortable for you to be in coherence. They need to mess you up. Because if you're in coherence, that means you might... So status illegibility is something that I've talked about off and on for a long time. If people don't know your status, they treat you better. But if they know your status, they treat you according to what they know. And if your status is low, then they treat you like a lower person. So it's like, okay, AI is doing all this, but I'm telling it what to make, and it's conveying a message. Here's a good one. You know, this is stuff homeless people couldn't do before.
A gift card for 16 hours of random homeless guy labor? Guys like that love saying, get a job. I saw this ad made by a homeless guy. Said it's low class to say it, higher class to connect them to one.
I need gift ideas for a man who has...
So this is alluding to an ad that I made.
Homeless guy labor? Guys like that love saying, get a job. I saw this ad made by a homeless guy. Said it's low class to say it, higher class to connect them to one.
I need gift ideas for
and
a
I
man who
give
has
the prompt for most of these in the description.
Guys like that love saying, get a job. I saw this ad made by a homeless guy. Said it's...
And a lot of times there's a discrepancy between what I asked for and what it gave. And I try to figure out like why there's that discrepancy, like, oh, just not enough time, I asked for too much, blah, 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 and try to make my prompts better. This might be the ad that I'm talking about.
The problem, the bigger it got. My resistance built the walls I hated. I kept asking how to stop resisting. Then it hit me. Just live. And when I did, everything opened up. Struggle. The more I stared at the problem, the bigger it got. My resistance built the walls I hated. I kept asking how to stop resisting. Then it hit me. Just live. And when I did, everything opened up. Struggle. The more I stared at the problem,
so it's like, this is the same kind of thing with like heart coherence or halo effect. It's like, if you hate AI, you'll find some little detail to focus on, like, oh, it puts the wrong words on the screen, it puts nonsense words on the screen. But if you're like, wow, you know, this homeless guy produced 50 videos, that's impressive. Like, what's the theme, you know? Oh, there's some weird text on the screen, it's all garbage, it's not even worth looking at, you know? How dumb is that? I like this one.
We optimize urban camping spots and hydration nodes.
People want to help.
so I just ask.
That's funny.
May I help you?
Good evening. Anything I can help you with?
IQ. If we optimize urban camping spots and hydration nodes,
People want to help, so I just ask.
May I help you?
Good evening. Anything I can help you with?
IQ. If we optimize
The idea here
urban
is low
camping spots and
IQ
hydration
is anything
nodes,
helps.
People wanna
Midwit
help,
is
so I just
writes a
ask.
survival guide for urban
May I help
camping and
you?
makes
Good
homeless
evening.
data project
Anything I
on the
can help
physics
you
of
with?
homelessness and practices every day. How can we
if
fix
we
this? High
optimize
IQ
urban
is,
camping
may I help
spots and
you?
hydration nodes,
People want to help, so I just ask.
May I help you?
Good evening. Anything
But yeah,
I can help you
according
with?
to...
IQ. If we optimize urban camping spots and hydration
Yeah, I didn't give it
nodes,
much to
People wanna
work
help,
with.
so
I might
just
have withheld the
May I
prompt
help
on
you?
this one
Good evening.
too.
Anything I can help you with?
If I did, I would have put it in my
if we
notes.
optimize urban camping spots and hydration nodes,
And something. I clock in before the sun comes up. So when somebody tells me to just go get a job at some coffee chain, that's low. Put me on
This
a crew,
is the
now that's
ad.
legit. Hand me a contact, a lead, that's a real lifeline. You want the best morning shift starts in something. I clock in before the sun comes up. So when somebody tells me to just go get a job at some coffee chain, that's low. Put me on a crew, now that's legit. Hand me a contact, a lead, that's a real lifeline. You want the best morning shift starts in something. I clock in before the sun comes up. So when somebody tells me to just go get a job at some coffee chain, that's low. Put me on a crew.
So
now
this
that's
is
legit.
public
Hand me a
service
contact,
announcement.
lead,
Telling a
that's real
homeless person to
lifeline.
go
You want
work
the
for
best
some
morning shift starts in
unrelated
something.
third
I
party
clock in
is pretty
before the
low
sun comes up.
class.
So when somebody tells me to just go
Connecting
get
a
job at
homeless
some coffee
person
chain,
to a work
that's low. Put
opportunity
me on
is
a crew,
legit.
now that's
Employing the
legit.
homeless
Hand me a
person would be
contact,
the
a
best
lead, that's a real
charity.
lifeline. You
For
want
the
the best morning
perspective
shift
of
starts
a
in
working
something.
homeless
I clock in
guy,
before
a
the sun
Nordic
comes up.
fourth
So when somebody
generation
tells me to just go
American
get a
in
job at some
NorCal.
coffee chain, that's low. Put me on a crew, now that's legit. Hand me a contact, a lead, that's a real lifeline.
So yeah, people are
You
like,
want the
oh,
best
just get a
morning
job
shift
at
starts in something. I
Starbucks
clock in
or
before the
whatever,
sun
you know,
comes
it's
up. So when
like,
somebody tells me to just
well,
go get a
don't
job
you have
at
a
some
friend
coffee chain, that's
who
low.
needs
Put me
someone
on
to
a
work
crew,
for
now that's
them?
legit.
You
Hand
don't
me a
have a
contact, lead,
business?
that's a real
Okay.
lifeline. You want the best morning
Okay,
shift starts
peon.
in something. I clock in before the sun comes up.
All. Everyone leaving me on the street and not helping? I have the ick. Employers, though? They're the ones who open a door. Goodwill left in the tank? 100% for the people signing paycheck. Who do I actually have goodwill toward now? Lol. Everyone leaving me on the street and not helping? I have the ick. Employers, though? They're the ones who open a door. Goodwill left in the tank? 100% for the people signing paycheck. Who do I actually have
I never
goodwill
trust
toward
anyone
now?
with a man
Lol. Everyone
bun.
leaving me on the street and not helping? I have the ick. Employers, though?
Double standards. Wow. I've got a lot of likes that I didn't notice. I didn't know anything had 5 likes or comments. I guess I'll have to go through this stuff.
Rest up. We'll cover you.
I'm so exhausted.
Probably on something.
He needs a clinic.
I just need a nap to feel human again. Go home, man. Rest up. We'll cover you.
I'm so exhausted.
Probably on something.
He needs a clinic.
I just need a nap to feel human again. Go home, man. Rest up. We'll cover you.
I'm so exhausted.
Probably on
So
something.
yeah, if like working guy, you know, corporate guy or whatever is like, oh, I need a nap to feel human again. People are like, oh man, rest up, you're good. But if a homeless person's like, oh, I need a nap to feel human again, people will be like, oh, you bum. Probably up smoking dope last night.
Just to make it through the day, tomorrow feels like a mountain. But one sunrise after another, a list, a cup of coffee, when you're fighting just to make it through the day, tomorrow feels like a mountain.
This is crazy. I remember in November when I posted this, like the reason I posted it was because I'm realizing like, whoa, I'm starting to be able to think in terms of like a week now. That's crazy because usually it's just literally day to day to day, like living only in the present.
When you're fighting just to make
which
it
is
through
hella
the day,
low vibration and
tomorrow
stuff,
feels like a
and
mountain.
you know.
But one sunrise after another.
Well, I mean,
a
it's
list,
like
a cup of
ultimate
coffee,
spiritual
when
enlightenment,
you're
but
fighting just to make it through the day, tomorrow feels
we
like a
are
mountain.
spiritual beings
But one
having a
sunrise
what
after
human
another.
experience. So
A
like we
list,
still have to
a cup
be
of
in the
coffee,
human world doing
when you're
business
fighting
while
just to make it
hobo.
through the day,
You
tomorrow
know,
feels
so
like a mountain.
the ideal
One
would be like
sunrise
I was
after
living in
another.
the present,
A
but
list,
we have to
a
support
cup of
that
coffee,
present
when you're fighting
perspective
just to
with
make it
our
through the day,
actual body, you
feels
know,
like
that
a
it
mountain.
inhabits, which
But one
requires
sunrise
food
after
and
another.
work and stuff.
A list, a cup of coffee, When you're fighting just to make it through the day, tomorrow feels like a...
So I wish I could just play all of these because I've got to go to the bathroom real bad. I don't want to just like leave one looping, but ooh, I'll leave this one looping. So this is actually where I first was thinking about this approach of API gateways. So like 2 months ago.
Drives the real login form and captures the success token. The terminal calls the proxy, sending credentials just like the old API. The proxy opens a tiny browser, drives the real login form, and captures the success token.
Yeah,
the terminal calls
that's
the
what
proxy,
happens.
sending credentials just like the old API. The proxy opens a tiny
Mock
browser,
BirdSite.
drives the real login form, and captures the success token.
I got screwed up by my own echo. Da do da 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 da. Da do da 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 da. Take this rhythm, make it mine, like an LLM. Ooh, yeah, I caught that. Da do da. Like, okay, is this art? Maybe. Did AI make art? No. AI did not come up with this. But AI crafted the scene according to how I described it. And so the end result, you know, if you have someone frame a painting, is it still art, even though someone else framed it? And I don't trust anyone to even not be stuck in their feelings on that discussion, but it's just the same thing. It's like, if you like AI, then you'll be like, wow, this is pretty impressive. And if you don't, you'll be like, oh, let me find something wrong with this. It's pretty hard to even find something wrong with this besides like the audio cut out. I bet the hands will get funny, but I bet they put a ton of work into the hands. Like, they kind of look like claws, but it could be long nails. We break the grid, we bend the line. I love that. And if you're not familiar, M dash is the long dash thing that people say, oh, if you see that, you know that it's AI. Let me try to get the pro AI people one to play again. Pro AI people? This one's kind of dumb, but, you know, I made it.
6 months with AI. Decades of hard work shaping how it thinks. A homeless creator built a guide that's blowing minds. 6 months with AI. Decades of hard work shaping how it thinks. A homeless creator built a guide that's blowing minds.
6 months of AI with decades of grit. That's exactly how it is.
Decades of hard work shaping how it thinks.
Yeah, don't have decades of grit. You might get lucky and get some stuff out of AI, but if you know what you're doing, you just talk to it like a junior team member. It's all cool. So yeah, I'm going to need to I've uploaded all of these to iSpooge.com. So I'll probably just put them into an RSS feed because this Sora profile is not public. But I'm thinking about, make a Hogumathi extension for Sora login now. So yeah, not a ton of inspiration scrolling proper, but looked at a bunch of stuff that's pretty inspirational. If you want me to win, you'll be like, dang, man, you've been doing a lot of stuff. That's pretty impressive, some of it, and I want to hire you to do some stuff for me, and hey, you can do that. But if you don't like me, you'll be like, wasting all your time, just get a second job. You could have been doing this, and this, and if only you were blah, 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 woman scorned, toxic feminine. I think that I'm doing super good, and not only do I have potential, but I have trajectory. I'm really doing stuff, and it's undeniable to anybody. The only way I can be denied is if you're like, you're too much of a risk for this or that reason, and I can definitely say what the reason would be, and it's going to be related to the reason that I've been homeless for all these years. That's never going to end. Because people can just go on the internet and look for me and then find those complaints and then just make the same complaints. Totally unoriginal. Just, someone else made this complaint, I'll make this complaint too. So yeah. In a cubicle. Yeehaw. So yeah, I'm gonna go take that bathroom trip now, but hopefully you got something out of this. Definitely think about subscribing to Hogumathi Premium. Think about coming on to the Patreon. $100 a month will be the sweet spot for getting access to, I didn't mention that earlier. Yeah, $100 a month will be the price point for getting access to early access stuff included. And dailydriverapps.com. That's the name of my software company. So I don't know if Hogumathi will become... See, I might still have the open source projects, and I might have a product based on some of these open source projects. And so the product would be more than just the projects put together, if that makes sense. So giving away the app source code isn't giving away my value still. It's giving away a piece, the foundation. It lets other people make offers based on the same foundation. So it could be cultivating competitors in a sense, but it's not really giving away the sauce or giving away everything, because products can be built of multiple projects. So you can... I made this before AI, and AI makes the economics work way better than even I projected, but they were going to work with just humans too. And what does this look like? This is basically a prompting form, and that's really what I intend, is for people to just come here and give me a prompt. And I'll probably write more stuff like this to, help put myself in front of the right eyes and stuff like that. But an app is a working system. A system can be a daily text file of work notes. It's no code, only process. It may be informal, known only to the author. When they hire a worker to delegate to, they train the worker about the system. The worker may be proactive and document what they were taught. One day, perhaps they will delegate the use of the system to another still. When the system is formalized, it becomes an app, not yet a product or a project. just an app, a documented system that meets the needs of its owner. As users are added to the system, new concerns arise, merging notes, overwriting work, all that comes with concurrency and perhaps parallelism. To address these new concerns, new project artifacts must be incorporated, code bases, external dependencies. This is where the role of developer becomes meaningful, and the wisdom of software engineering is critical but perhaps elusive. Software engineering is software development over time. Time brings change, evolving duties and user profiles, external dependencies, and more. Yet there is business to be done while these changes are incorporated into the system, apps, and infrastructure. There may be formal service level agreements, SLAs, that must be met, or a penalty paid. The development and operational processes become complex and have costs associated with them, and decision making must be managed and accountable. This is a far journey from author managing a set of note files. Experts have traveled the road many times before and know what's coming. They leverage whatever tools are available and know how to pop the hood and quickly assess situations and make small or large improvements, whereas a new developer may be on their first journey and only have read the map, or not. The level of developer required for an app depends on factors like cost of failure, time to market requirements, and anticipated growth factors. Describe your custom app idea and we'll put together a plan to engineer it right. And I guess I can write too, because I just spit that out with no editing, and it's not bad. I determined that after I forgot I wrote it and read it again. Yeah, there was one typo in there, but actually it's really classy to leave one typo, because then people know you're not perfect and then you feel more relatable to them. So even that was perfect. So I'm not trying to be perfect, I just manifest perfection a lot and it makes people envy it. But I can manifest you a perfect app if you'll just cooperate with me and pay me some money. Even though it's not supposed to be about the money, I need money to do things, and once I have those things I'll stop talking about money. So I hope that's fair. And if you want to work with me, please, now's a great time. So enjoy the rest of your day and be well.